morning, Dallas Preston Road. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing good. We had another crazy night of hail out in like Cedar Hill and stuff last night. So I would encourage you yet again. So I made about 25 calls and text messages yesterday to my clients that kind of got hit in areas like out in the Denton County Flower Mound area. And I got one positive lead that I'm going on a listing presentation for. So I would just really encourage you guys, reach out to our clients. We're here to help them and give them vendors or any advice as they go through any challenges with all this crazy weather that I guess our Texas spring is bringing us this year. So I'm excited that I get to talk today and share with you guys. Last week we had Club 20 with Dusty Oglesby, and he had an amazing presentation. And it was a great presentation on purpose, but something that really hit home with me was he was talking about the need for us to go back into, when we're in a market that's kind of shifting, to go back to the basics, which I know we've all heard if you've been on the calls this year, how important it is. And he said something that really stuck out to me. So he said, a shifting market shows us every area of our business that we are bleeding. Maybe we didn't need these systems or tools in the past, but now will be exposed. And this really hit with me because I think that, you know, obviously, if you were in business during COVID and going on listing appointments, there wasn't much conversation around having a strategy other than just getting it on the market, kind of picking some crazy price, and then getting it under contract really quickly. And those days are over. And I think that when we're in a market where there's a scarcity of listings, it's more important than ever to be able to convey our value because it's competitive, right? So I went on a listing appointment on Sunday that this lady found me on realtor.com of all places, and I was up against 4 other agents and I didn't have any sort of relationship with her. And so those types of appointments are much different for me personally, as opposed to going on a past client or a referral, because there's no trusted relationship in place yet, right? And so we have to really be able to build rapport with them in a quick manner, build some trust with them, and also be able to properly convey why we're the right agent for the job and what our value proposition is. So I wanted to bring some really great information to you today that I've implemented in my listing presentation. So I hope you have a pen and you can take some great notes. And then if we have a few minutes at the end, I'm happy to answer any questions. So the first thing I wanted to go over was tools and collateral. So what are you taking on your listing presentation with you? Do you have a pre-listing packet? We have a pre-listing packet that we have prepared that we either drop off to the potential seller ahead of time if we have time, or we take it with us. In this pre-listing presentation, it just talks about who we are, what we do to get their home sold. So we have like 13 steps to marketing their home, all the preparation that goes into getting their house prepared to go on the market, and then our pricing strategy. Now, even though I drop this off, a lot of times people are busy and they don't read. So I'm still going over this information in the actual listing presentation. I do ask them, hey, did you get a chance to review the information that I gave you? And if they say yes, then I'll scale it down. If they say no, I say no problem at all. That's for you to have to keep. And I'm going to go over all the highlight points of that presentation in our meeting today. So if you don't have one, it might be a great idea for you to create one, and doesn't have to be super complicated. And then I also wanted to share with you a couple other things. So one thing that we've gotten back into is doing cloud CMAs. Hopefully everybody knows what a cloud CMA is. It's basically an opportunity to go into Netris and go beyond the normal CMA, the one-page CMA report, and really create a report that shows all the pictures of the comparable properties. I find this super valuable because everyone thinks their house is the best. And when it comes to pricing, especially in this market right now. So it's really important for us to be able to convey to them, you know, what makes your house different than these other 2 comps that are priced $25 less per square foot. And the easiest way to do that, and the quickest way, in my opinion, is to be able to show them pictures. So we have found the Cloud CMA super useful. If you haven't gone into Netris and played around with the Cloud CMA, I highly encourage you do that, because you can really go in and you can plug and play the different sheets that you want. You can scale it way down. You can have your cover letter. And we've done that, and we can get a Cloud CMA done like in 15 minutes. We send it to Office Depot, or you can print it at the office. We have them bind it It's less than $20. And there's a fantastic presentation, marketing piece that you can give to them that they can keep when you're done with the listing appointment. The other thing that we always make sure we have is our calculator on our phone so we can calculate what their seller net sheet is. So hopefully all of you have a relationship with a title company. They offer us these apps that you can download. Chicago Title has a fantastic one. It allows you to put in buyer and seller. So it's great for both sides of the transaction. But with seller, it allows you to put in their accurate taxes, what the price is that you're selling the house for, what their payoff is, all the different closing cost fees. And it's an amazing tool. We should all be providing our seller at the listing appointment with what their net will be, because that's what it's all about. It's not necessarily about what they're selling it for. It's about what their net is. And when I went on this listing presentation on Sunday, she was very organized and I was the last person that she met with. She had everyone's information and categories. And when we got to commission and I told her 6%, I looked out at her notebook and the other two agents, one of them was asking 8% and one of them was asking 7%, which I thought was so crazy. I'm like, am I undercharging? Am I undervaluing myself? So apparently there's agents out there charging a lot more than 6%. So don't sell yourself short and negotiate your commission under 6%, in my opinion. So that's some of the marketing material and collateral that I take to the listing presentation. So I'm not going to get into like walking through the house and all that, because we probably all kind of hopefully have an order of how we do things. But when I go to sit down at the kitchen table, the first thing I talk about is communication. I want to meet them where they're at in their level of communication. Do they prefer text messages, phone calls, emails? How often do they want to be communicated with? I want to make sure we have clear expectations. Are they wanting a phone call? Like I like to, of course, we're always updating them whenever there's showings and feedback and all that, but we have a weekly call. Are they expecting us to have more than one weekly call? It's really important that you can meet them where they're at in communication, because no matter how great you are or how much you sell yourselves, if you don't connect with them and they feel like you're not going to be able to adequately communicate with them, then oftentimes they'll go with another agent. So I encourage you, we have a communication guarantee. It's like a one-page sheet that basically tells them, we guarantee we're going to be in touch with them on a weekly basis, depending on their preferred method of contact. And it's just something that I sign, that I give to them, so they feel like it's very clear and identified that we are going to be communicating with them. If you've gone on listing presentations in the past, a lot of people complain that their agent just never communicated with them. And I'm telling you right now, if you have listings that are less than desirable or on the outskirts, they're sitting on the market a little bit longer, right? I've got some really amazing listings that are just sitting on the market. And so we have to be able to communicate. It's challenging because in the market of COVID, we weren't sitting on inventory 60, 90 days like we're seeing in some areas, or at least I am in some of the outskirts of the Metroplex. And so it's really important for us to be able to have a consistent communication plan. Pre-listing preparation. So what are you going to do specifically to help their house stand out above the competition? I talk to them a lot about, we all know most buyers are first seeing their house online and how important it is for their house to show like a model home. We know people don't live like the way that they normally have their pictures online, right? It's not doable, especially if you have kids or pets. So our goal is to get it prepped for magazine style photography. And then I go into the ways that we do that. So we offer a staging consultation. We offer professional photography. And hopefully most of the other agents are doing this as well. Although I know we've all seen those cell phone pictures on all different price points. So I always reiterate that information. And I talk to them about, like, have you ever walked into a model home? And it kind of takes them back to that feeling of them walking in and being like, wow, this is so beautiful. So we want to convey their property in that same fashion. So also, if you're using a professional photographer like Shoot to Sell or Full Package Media, they create property websites. So promote that to the seller, like, your property is going to have a unique property website specifically for your own property, where it's going to highlight all the features. It's going to give opportunities for the consumer to reach out to me directly to schedule appointments. And it's going to show all the beautiful pictures that the photographer is going to take. Unique property website. And then you want to clearly be able to explain to the seller what exactly you're doing to market their home. So I want to spend just a few minutes on this because I think that sometimes we can get easily lost in the mix of all the tools that we actually have access to. And it's obviously way beyond listing it on the MLS and putting a sign in the yard, which we all know a lot of agents do. That's literally all they do is put it on the MLS and put a sign in the yard and wait for buyers to come. So what are you doing? It's really important to be able to convey to the seller, especially when they're having multiple agents come in that they're interviewing, what you're doing differently to stand out above the rest. So I just wanted to refresh you guys on a couple of things that we offer. So KW syndicates to over 200 websites. I let them know that. It's going to be on all the various platforms, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Google searches, like just get them. I know that we used to have a marketing piece that kind of had all the different websites, but I typically just keep it pretty simple and say that we're syndicating. When you list with a Keller Williams agent, we're syndicating to over 200 different websites. Now, obviously, if you're up against other Keller Williams agents, that's not necessarily going to make you stand above the crowd, but you want to convey that it's going to be all over the internet. And most buyers, we all know, first find their home online and then pick up the phone and call their agent. Reverse prospecting. Does everybody know that you can go into Netris and you can pull all the agents that have buyers set up on searches in the area where your house is listed, and it literally will list everybody off. So what we've started doing is we get that list, we create a professional flyer, we email them and we call them depending on how many people are on that list and like how long we're on the market, right? And that list is a great list to have. So I tell my clients, we're able to pinpoint all of the agents who have buyers set up on searches looking in your area, and we're direct marketing them. We're actually picking up the phone and we're emailing them and letting them know, we just listed your amazing house in this particular area. We're going to have an open house this weekend. And so we're doing a lot more than just putting it on the MLS. So reverse prospecting is a great opportunity. Circle prospecting. So another tool that another system that we have is we go in and we pull all the agents that have recently sold in that particular area, and you want to get at least 25. So if you have to go back a little bit further in time or go out a little bit further in your search, I pull 25 and I personally pick up the phone and I call those agents and I let them know that we have a new listing coming on the market. No, not a lot of agents are doing this, you guys. And so being able to tell the seller that you're picking up the phone and calling people and not just waiting for buyers to show up is huge. And it's simple and it's easy and it's a system that we can all implement. The other thing that I do, two other things. So we've all seen those email blasts that go out to like JD Cloud or whatever, 35,000 agents. We do those. They're like $90. They'll make the flyer for you. You can do it to promote a broker open, an open house, or a just listed. So that's really important. That's something that we tell our clients that it's getting marketed out to. That goes out to 35,000 agents, and it's a one-time $90 fee. Of course, you want to let them know that you're putting it on social media. Let me check the time real quick. It's 8:45. And then one other thing that we do. So you can go into KW Connect and check migration patterns. So did you guys know that you can go into KW Connect and see where all the people are relocating from to Dallas? Because then you can go in and you can reach out to agents in those market centers and direct market to them. I've got this listing right now in Northlake that's a total Texas house. When everybody relocates from California, they're like, we want to be on an acre in this gorgeous neighborhood. And I'm like, that doesn't really exist. Well, I've got a listing right now that offers that. And so I'm promoting that heavily to Colorado people and California people like, hey, we've got the true Texas house dream in Northlake. If you have anybody that's relocating to Texas, come check it out. So I know that was an earful. I wanted to just share with you guys and give you guys some ideas as you go on these listing appointments and how important it is for us to be able to convey our value as we kind of go back into a skills-based market. Put yourself above the rest and have the opportunity to take the listing. So